Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Winter Wellness 5-Day Whole Foods Detox program. And again, my name is Rebecca Johnston. I'm here as your health coach to support you and get you through these 5 days. It's going to be great, so no worries. If you are having some concerns, we're going to that's what this kickoff call is all about, so I can get you the information that will hopefully help you feel comfortable and guide you through the process of what to expect and a lot of the the documents that you have on your downloads page by now. So hopefully you've gone through those already a little bit. But so let's get started. I just want you to feel welcome and comfortable, and I'm so glad. Congratulations just for signing up and taking that step for your own health. That says a lot that you're ready to dive in and try this, try something new perhaps. If you've detoxed before, that's great too. Hopefully this will be a good experience as well for you. There's a lot of different experiences out there and different programs, I know. But thank you sincerely for trying this one. And so I just want you to know, we're going to just start with a little bit of housekeeping information that I need to say. And let's get that out of the way. Basically, I want you to know this information is being provided to you for educational, informational purposes only. It is being provided to educate you about how to take care of your body and as a self-help tool for your own use so that you can reach out and reach your own health goals. So it is not intended to treat or cure any specific illness, and it's not to replace the guidance provided by your own medical practitioner. This information is to be used at your own risk based on your own judgment. If you suspect you are having a medical problem during this time, I urge you to take appropriate action, of course, by seeking medical attention. But also please reach out to me so I know if something comes up, because I can't offer any guidance or support at all if I don't know, what is happening. So, and I will just say that's pretty rare. That has never actually anything happened like that when I've done these detoxes. But so finally, I want to note that this webinar is a good opportunity for you to take these high quality information and make a real change for yourself. In order to do that, you'll just need to be present here during this time for 45 minutes or so to an hour. I'm going to not try to go on too long, but please know that you can certainly stop this and come back to the recording if you need to during the week or whatever. If it does go a little long for you right now, that's fine. If you don't have time to sit through it all, just please come back. And because we're going to go over some of the documents too, just sort of get a good introduction to the program. And so it also really goes along well with the week of detoxing is to become present and mindful, and because that's all part of it too, to be able to focus and take care of yourself. So again, as you know, my name's Rebecca Johnston, and I am an integrative nutrition health coach, and I'm the owner of Nature and Nourish Wellness, which is a health coaching company, really company and practice, where I help other people with reaching their health goals. And I named it Nature and Nourish Wellness because I truly believe in the power of nature. For one thing, that is a gift to all of us, and it's so good for our health to be in nature and to use nature's gifts to improve our state of being, our well-being, so our bodies and our minds, and just taking in fresh air, something simple. Walking on the grass with bare feet is very grounding. They've done studies on these kind of things. Forest bathing, spending time in the woods, taking a hike, just taking in a good sunset, whatever the case may be for you, to incorporate that. So if you can get any of that this week, I know that it is winter, but it's winter wellness, right? So we can still be well in winter. So whatever that is for you, fresh air is always good. Even if, now if it's windy and below freezing, then that might be a different story. But still, so, and I mean, as far as why I became a health coach is a long story, but it goes back to my childhood being, having a dad who was many diabetic complications, and learning slowly over time about food and how that affects our bodies, not really understanding it till I started really studying it on my own and realizing I had this deep-seated interest in this kind of thing. And it really all makes sense now to me. And I'm always still learning, believe me. But the endocrine system is very, very complicated and interesting. And the more whole foods, honestly, we can get into our bodies, just to make it very simple, the better. So the more nutrients. So that's what this 5 days is about. High nutrient dense foods, cutting out inflammatory foods. And I'm going to go into more of that soon here. So that's what this week is going to be about. And you're going to get through it. So I know, don't panic. No one's not going to have to do anything you don't want to do either. So it's all good. Once I cleaned up my diet, for me, I felt so much better. I had more energy. My mood improved. I did drop some weight. And once I had that huge change, I knew I wanted to help other people experience that too. And so as far as detoxing, right, you might be wondering, why should I detox? Like, why can't I just eat healthy and exercise and do all those things? That's all important, but the detox itself does have a very valuable, it's very valuable in that what it can do for our body. So that's what I'm going to start to talk about a little bit. The kind of benefits you can get from detoxing. Detoxification itself is a natural process of the body, and one that's going on all the time without us even knowing, being aware of it. Much like how our lungs breathe and our hearts beat without us paying attention, which I think is just, of course, a miracle of nature in itself, right? And so the liver, the lungs, the skin, and kidneys are the body's primary detoxification organs. Each one plays a specific role in moving toxic substances out of our system, which is fabulous. We want them to go out, right? However, today's day and age, we find that food is loaded with chemicals, colorants, trans fat, synthetic sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, in so many things on the shelf out there at the stores, right? So we just can't take it for granted that these food companies are taking care of us, right? Unfortunately, and then you add that to air pollution, water that isn't pure. Our bodies simply can't keep up after a while, and they're really not meant to. And so when our bodies get overwhelmed, those toxic chemicals no longer get flushed out and instead reside in our bodily tissue. When our toxic load overwhelms our bodies, it moves into protection mode. It does this by insulating the toxic substance in mucus and fat so that it will not cause an imbalance or trigger an immune response. And then storing it in our body. So what that means is that every single one of us has these toxic substances stored in our fat, and some people carry up to 15 extra pounds of mucus and fat that harbors this waste, right? So that's not that's not a very pretty imagination, something that we want to imagine in our bodies going on, and we say, oh, that's gross. It sounds gross, but it's just the way our bodies work in this nature. And unfortunately, we have to come up with ways to get rid of the toxins. And it is a different process to lose some weight from excreting these toxins versus burning off calories. So these are two different concepts. So burning calories in a gym, you might think of running on a treadmill, is totally different. You can do that all day and perhaps not get rid of any of these toxins. So that's where that problem comes in, where we can't lose extra weight. So The only way to really get rid of these toxins is by embarking on a detox. A detox allows the body to have a break from ingesting new chemicals and toxins, which is really important. So we're not taking anything new in during these 5 days. And during that break is able to mobilize the existing toxic substances and then dump them into the bloodstream so they can be expelled, okay? So if we can have a little picture of that in our head, we want to picture the toxins coming out through the bloodstream, and then we're not putting any new ones in. So it's really this process of detoxification. Now let's be clear, this particular program is really gentle, and it's quick 5 days. So it's not going to completely clean out your entire system, but 5 days of eating high nutrient dense foods is enough to support your body in releasing some of these chemicals and in building up nutrient stores that will support you long after the detox is over. Without this break, our bodies simply cannot get rid of the toxins that are already stored in our fat cells. In fact, as we keep ingesting the toxins, we store more and more toxic substances in our fat cells. So I think this makes sense after you're thinking about it. We have to stop taking in the negative stuff in order for that to start coming out of our bodies. And then you'll start to see differences. But it does take some commitment and it takes some work to get this process rolling. And again, it's not overnight. You've only committed to 5 days here in this program. But again, that's not to say you can't continue this afterwards. And I will get to that in a little bit. So here's the funny thing too, is, if we don't take the time to help our systems clean out, we know that we'll continue to have this tiredness as a symptom at times. We could have the belly bloat. We can experience crazy food cravings, 3 p.m. crashes, continued inconsistent digestion issues. Our weight will keep creeping up, and, we'll still be having the same issues over and over if we don't do something about it. So the best part is that you've already taken the first step by being here and doing this 5-day detox. So that's really, really important that you've stepped up to do this. And I have nothing but respect for you for trying it. And so let's dive into what to expect during the detox. The goal of this week is to take out all processed foods out of your diet and to add in whole grains and vegetables and help you recognize the habits you have that are not supporting your health. And also lean proteins, if that wasn't, I would mention that. So your individual results will vary, but it will be primarily based on what you're eating before the detox and how much you put into the detox itself. So most of my past clients have experienced a reduction in cravings, weight loss, better digestion, more energy, improved mental clarity, and more awareness around what foods work in their own body, which are all pluses, right? And I can speak for myself around all those things as well. You might be cranky the first couple of days or experience less energy or emotional release. Others get some cravings for certain foods, and these are all natural things that could and might happen on the detox program. But I don't want anyone to panic about that, because anytime you're changing what you're putting in your body, and then there's going to be some adjustments. You're bound to feel something different. So like most things, you'll get out of it what you put in to it, and I want to help you be as prepared as possible. During this time, if there's anything you're struggling with specifically, please reach out to me through the Facebook group or through my email, support@rebecca@naturenourishwellness.com, which you should have all that information already. But now let's talk about how to prepare for the detox and get the most out of it. And so the first thing you'll need to do is read through all the materials I provided. Some of my clients find that they like to print out the information and get it into a binder for themselves, which they can just go to anytime during the week. Or you could just download that information from the downloads page and just have it on your computer, or even access it maybe through your phone. And again, you should have all this information already. If you have any questions about the materials, let me know. Next, you'll want to read through the meal plan and recipes and decide if you'll follow that meal plan as it's written, or you'll sub out recipes depending on your preferences. And that's really important to stress during this detox, is that you do not have to follow the recipes day by day. I'm not going to say we're all going to eat this salmon dinner tonight on Monday night and the chickens on Tuesday and so forth. It's just going to be up to you how to incorporate the recipes. If you want to tweak them, change them up, make them less, even less ingredients, but as the main goal is to keep out the things we're not supposed to have in. So the processed foods, the gluten, the dairy, the sugar, caffeine, all these things that are in your handbook too. I'll go over that again. Those are the things we want to keep out. So if you can make your own meals all week long, keeping those things out, keeping yourself full and satisfied with what you make, then that's great. But the recipes are certainly there as guidelines, and they are very nutrient dense. So the goal there is so that you will not be going hungry at all. In fact, you might, a lot of people say they feel more full and satisfied during this detox than any other time, which makes total sense, actually. So once you're going to read through those, and then you'll want to make a shopping list and set aside the time for prep work before the detox starts. So if you're following the meal plan, the shopping list is already created for you. If you're tweaking it to your own taste, or you have food sensitivities or something, you'll need to modify the list a little bit. The recipes are family friendly. A lot of people find that they don't have to cook separately for their family, or you can just take parts of it, or some of the ingredients separately for family members that maybe don't want the whole recipe. So that's really going to be up to you. In the handbook, I provided a list of items you might want to stock your pantry with in general, so that can be used after the detox even. So if you stock your pantry with good foods that you can use when cooking and good foods that you can grab when you're on the go, you're more likely to stick with healthy eating long term because it's right there in front of you, and that is a great thing to do. And when you're shopping, I highly recommend befriending the bulk section. You can buy small quantities of items and try them out. Some ingredients like chia seeds may seem strange or different to you, I don't know, but don't be afraid to ask for help finding them if you can't find them. If there's a farmer's market open somewhere, you can certainly go there to look for fresh ingredients. You'll find produce is at a higher nutrient value, and it tastes better because it's not traveled so far and been stored for a long time. For the actual food preparation, mark the date on your calendar when you'll start the detox and then work back from there. So I find that a lot of clients like to do prep work and grocery shopping and chopping vegetables on the weekend preceding the detox. So that way there's less to deal with during the week. And I would recommend scheduling 1 to 2 hours at the most for this. If you can fit it in on the weekend, then I say go for it. If you have the kind of schedule that you have more flexibility during the week, daytime hours to go shopping or prep each day, then that's awesome too. So the point is just to be prepared each day. And then you don't want to put stress on yourself either, because that takes away from, the mindset and a little bit of the mental detoxification too. But, the goal is just to plan in advance, and so that it becomes like a pleasurable experience for you, where you're focusing on really taking care of your body and not stressing out about what you can't eat. Look forward to what you can eat. And there's even snacks and some desserts in here. You can make up your own if they fit the guidelines. You can, I encourage you to make the food prepping fun. Family can help, or, listen to your favorite music or podcast or whatever it's going to be to just make the time go quicker so you're enjoying it. And after it actually starts, we're going to talk about that now, like what happens when the first Monday morning hits. Okay, so first be sure that you're drinking plenty of water. It's very important. I do encourage you to use clean filtered water if you can, but skip the water bottles, plastic. There's actually a little handout on plastics in your downloads page. So the goal is to drink half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 140 pounds, then that's 70 ounces per day of water is the recommended amount, especially during the detox. If you're not a fan of water, feel free to add lemon, cucumbers, berries, make your own spa waters. So that's really actually fun to do. If you have essential oils that you love, there's many of those that can be added to, 1 or 2 drops is usually enough in your water to spruce that up a little bit. And it's healthy for you. So when it comes to eating, remember to be mindful. Don't try and, scarf it down in front of the TV. Actually chew and really enjoy your food, which actually helps with the digestive enzymes and your whole digestive process, which is also really, really important. Don't worry too much about portion control, but focus on eating until you're no longer hungry. And that's another great thing about the flexibility of this program is that we're not counting calories, and we're not measuring, weighing food and looking at portions per se. But obviously we don't want to overeat, but we want to, we have some flexibility there. In your handbook, okay, you'll notice the daily protocol list, and that gives you all the steps on what to do each day that you could follow. So let me just go there a second, and I will, let's see. Okay, so this is your downloads page that you would have received in your email. And here we have the materials, the handbook. So I'm going to go up here and find your handbook. So here it is. Okay, so the daily protocol list I mentioned. Scroll down. It's on page 8, I believe. Okay. So this just gives you a little guideline of how to follow each day. It's pretty general, but you can start off your day with 12 ounces of warm water with half the juice of a lemon or lemon essential oil, with breakfast, green or herbal tea, your morning meal, filtered water, and these supplements here are definitely, they're up to your discretion, but they are just suggestions that can add to your detox experience. You're not obligated to have those on hand, but if you do, they would be good for you. Mid-morning, you can have a snack. Some suggestions are soaked almonds, apple with almond butter, miso soup, black bean dip, and carrots. Lunch, you'll have your lunch choice, filtered water. You certainly can have your late afternoon snack as well. And there's suggests there herbal teas, getting some nature, a little bit of time in to do something that you enjoy, if that's possible. I know it's not always possible. Then you have your dinner and some more filtered water, evening snack, and bedtime. Suggesting get to bed a little bit earlier than normal, even if it's just 15 minutes earlier. Some ideas are like doing a gratitude journal, some self-care, Epsom salt baths, essential oils, lavender is really great for that. And so those are general guidelines for you. And it just gives you an idea how the day could go. And let's see, did that. So the recipes and shopping list, we'll just take a quick look here at your recipe booklet. And again, these suggested recipes that you'll see here are just ideas. You don't have to follow this specific list of meals per se at all, but these things go nicely together if you wanted to do that. And here's a blank page you could certainly use to write in your own. Maybe use a pencil so you can erase and rewrite as needed. And then it just starts with the basic, some quinoa and some brown rice, or you could, do that every day with a meal if you wanted to. And oven roasted winter vegetables, so good. I'm loving like all these special breakfasts that you can try. And of course, this is a smoothie here that's cinnamon pear smoothie, but there's also a whole bonus guide to smoothies and other drinks you can use as well. Keep in mind the smoothies from that bonus book, the recipes, they're not on the shopping list. So I did want to point that out, that if you're interested in making any of those smoothies, then just, take the recipe along with you, and that can be your shopping list at the store. So you're going to see all these options here for lunches and dinners. Hopefully you find there's a good variety. And again, you can certainly make up your own recipes that would fit within these guidelines. Okay, and then so we have the recipes, snacks even. These kale chips are wonderful. Just saying, I've had them for sure. I've tried most of these myself here. And, oh yes, the baked apples, golden milk, fat bombs are wonderful. And even all these additional snacks to just have on hand is great. So load yourself up if you can, and then if you have extras at the end of the 5 days, keep going or just incorporate them in to your life. And then here's the shopping list, and you can see here some shopping tips and some, you can use this so that you're in the spice area of the store. This is convenient because you have everything right here that you can pull from. So it's like organized for you. So do your best. If there's things on here like you don't want to make a recipe or you don't like that ingredient, then you know what, just leave it out. It's up to you. There's flexibility. And there's the optional supplement page, all optional. Okay, and then okay, so I also want to talk a little bit here about self-care during the 5 days especially. Be sure to schedule time for this. Many of us make it through our days and weeks without consciously thinking about how much we're even breathing, or how we're breathing too. So figure out ways that we can, you can take some time out for yourself. In the guidebook, there's some excellent ideas on how to do this. So in their bonus materials, there are self-care and even a little breathing technique. I will go back. So here's your, oops. Ready? Here we go. So going back to your downloads page, it will have here all these bonus materials. So if you come down here to Self-Care Secrets, and there you go. So there's some things there that are ideas for you. It's certainly not all-inclusive, but it's something for you to go on. And breathing techniques, like I just mentioned. There's a couple here from Dr. Weil, who's wonderful. And so just kind of take a look at this if any of those work for you to help you. All right. So, you know, self-care can be challenging if you're working while detoxing. So minimize your workload as much as you can. I know that's not always easy, but try to maybe even skip some evening activities if they're not actually dire that you're there. And try to get to bed a little bit earlier than normal. If you just do those things for 5 days, I mean, you'd be amazed at how much of a difference it can add up to in how you feel, and then more mental clarity as well. For working out, do be active, but try not to be too to overdo your exercise. I know there are some of you with specific fitness goals, but it can also be good to give your body a rest. So if you are a person who has a hard time losing weight, slowing down on intense workouts can actually help by giving your body the rest and recovery it needs. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you're hungry, eat. If you're thirsty, drink. If you're tired, try and find a chance to nap or to rest. I can't emphasize this enough. And you know, these 5 days are a great opportunity for you to reconnect with your body and to learn to understand its messages, like to actually be able to listen and to tap into that. And then you can take that with you after the 5 days. So one of the best things about the detox is the amount of support you'll get, both from me and hopefully from the other detox members. So we're all in this together, right? So be sure to join the Facebook group. You'll be able to post there and share how you're doing. I can't stress enough how the importance of community can be during a program like this. It always helps to know that you're not alone. And you'll also be getting emails from me. You know, if we determine that was a better route for you, I will still be doing that as well. So one more thing is that I want to make a special note about medical conditions. With regards to medication, stay on any prescribed medications, and if you're diabetic, keep an extra close eye on your blood sugars. So many people find that they stabilize during this detox. If you're on any chronic medical conditions, please consult your doctor before beginning this, which I already said. And okay. And again, if you are pregnant or nursing, pay close attention to how you feel and skip the bonus supplements and the Epsom salt baths as well. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about transitioning after the detox at the end of the 5 days. So I know it might seem strange to talk about that already, but transitioning out of it when we haven't even started, but trust me, the time will fly by, and it's important to be conscious of how you're eating as you exit the detox so you don't accidentally undo all the hard work you just put in. And I will talk more about that on a shorter transition call at the end of the week. So that will be posted in the Facebook group as well. So be sure to watch that toward the end of the week when that comes up. And though my work with my clients and myself, I know detoxes are an incredible, can have incredible benefits because they can, you know, they can help you lose some weight. They can help you to sleep better and give you more energy in general. And they can clear up your problem skin even. They can, you know, there's so many different things that when we start releasing these toxins from our body, that the benefits that we start seeing and feeling. So even if it's not something that you know, you can see visibly, or that, you know, everyone around you can see, you might feel it. And if nothing else, hopefully you're feeling empowered and that you did this and that you know that you can move forward and do it a little bit longer or do it again, or at least have that confidence that, you know, you can make it without some of these inflammatory foods. And in fact, I think I want to just head back to, really quickly, the handbook, and I just want to go over and right here, which we didn't really go over much of, make sure you read the general cleansing guidelines. Okay, so they're very important. It talks about being mindful with your habits, drinking plenty of water, sitting down, enjoying your meal, chewing your food, focusing on your body and self-care. A lot of this we covered. Getting outside if you can, even though it is winter. We said all these things. Modify your exercise if you need to. Make an effort to eat at home as many meals as possible, but you do have an eating out guide in your bonuses to help a little bit with if you do eat out, making good choices. Be sure to get enough essential fatty acids during your cleanse. You can have olive oil, avocado, wild-caught salmon, coconut butter, coconut milk, coconut cream, ghee, which is clarified butter, pretty much all nuts except peanuts, which aren't actually nuts, by the way, if you didn't know, flaxseed, pumpkin seed, sesame seeds. So eating these EFAs with each meal will help you feel full and satisfied longer. So please don't leave those out. They're only going to help you. And we went through that. I just wanted to go over real quick which hopefully you've read, but what to avoid and what to eat instead. So this is very important. So none of the recipes have any of these categories in them. No gluten, no dairy, no sugar, coffee, red meat, and pork. So please take a moment to make sure you look these over and realize that some of these things you just can't have, and that's why. So the gluten is highly inflammatory, so that's why it's being cut out. You don't have to have a diagnosis of a certain condition to benefit from not eating gluten. So breads, pastas, bagels, barley, rye, all those things listed there. And there's great alternatives. Brown and wild rice, quinoa, amaranth. Mary's Gone crackers, I can attest, that are in some local stores here. I do know Giant has them in the organic aisle, just for one example. And those are great to just put some avocado on, guacamole, something like that, or almond butter on those crackers, and then you're getting your healthy fats, proteins, and fibers all in one, which is awesome. Dairies, you're going to have to, this detox does enforce cutting out dairy, milks, cottage cheese, cheeses, sour creams, but there's also good alternatives out there. Almond milks, coconut milks, but just make sure if you're buying them off the shelf, the different brands, get the unsweetened, because if you get the kind that's sweetened with, say, vanilla or flavored, they're going to have those added sugars in them, which we're trying to avoid, so we don't want to do that. And then it just goes into sugar, coffee, red meat and pork, but there's lots of good things that you can enjoy, so please pay a lot of attention to that part. And then the reason, the importance of elimination, I want to touch on too. Sweating, breathing, urination, and bowel movements are the 4 ways we can eliminate toxins. So all those things are really important during this 5 days. Again, drinking enough water to flush the toxins out and make sure that you're hydrated. If you can get to a sauna, great. And yeah, so that's what I just wanted to point out, some of those things. And this is a daily checklist you can use as a guideline. Drink lots of water, conscious about your movement, mindful of your eating habits, practicing gratitude, you stuck to your meal guidelines, you went to bed early. Just those things alone, combined with, when you're following what the guidelines, those are all going to benefit you so much. So that was all I wanted to really point out specifically on the materials. But we're going to just make sure. Okay, so we're going to just wrap this up, and I want to take a moment to have you set an intention for your detox time. So if you're familiar with intentions, they can be really valuable. Clearing your mind of all other things that's going on, and setting aside, for just a moment. Know it will be there. Whatever you're thinking about or stressing about or nagging in your brain right now, maybe, of all the things you have to do, just know that it'll be there and ready for you to pick up again. But try and take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes if that helps. Be present. Think about, what is it that you want to get out of the 5-day detox? Is it more energy, better sleep, giving up an unhealthy habit? Whatever it is, imagine yourself having that result in just 5 short days. Imagine what it will be like to be living a healthier, happier life. Take a moment and let yourself just be there. Pause for a moment. Really pause. And know that if you can imagine it, you can have it. And take that feeling with you as you come back to the present moment. And once you have, know that you can do little exercises like this on your own throughout your busy day during this 5 days to help yourself reset your mind. Mindfulness about why you're doing this, and remember your intention. If it helps to write something down, a little affirmation for yourself, and put it around you during the day, that is awesome too. Whatever you can do. So that's all I have for right now. Thank you for taking the time to listen and tune in, and for making the time to take care of yourself and your own health. I can promise you won't regret it. Best of luck. I'll be here to support you through the Facebook group, email, and of course, if something comes up where you really need to talk, then that is okay too. So just best to you, and we will be in touch. I'm going through this. I'll be with you. I am not deserting you at all. Coaching you through it. I'm going to be posting lots of things in the Facebook group throughout the week for you to hopefully inspire you in little ways. So please feel free to make a community of this and chat with each other and encourage each other. That would be great. Whatever you can do. So that's all I have for right now. I'll be in touch, and best of luck getting started. All right, we can do this. All right, bye-bye.